Imagine this. You're driving home from work, cruising down the highway when suddenly, bam, you're rear-ended at a stoplight. You pull over, exchange information, and that's when the bad news hits. The other driver has no insurance. Now what? Does this mean you're stuck paying for everything yourself? Let's break this down. Hi, I'm attorney Jim Curtis. I help accident victims in Tampa Bay and across the state of Florida navigate situations just like this. And today, I'm going to explain what really happens if the other driver doesn't have insurance in Florida, and more importantly, how you can still protect yourself. So let's dive in. First, let's talk about Florida's insurance system. Florida is what's called a no-fault state. That means that after a car accident, your own insurance company pays your medical bills and lost wages, regardless of who caused the crash. This comes from something called Personal Injury Protection Coverage, otherwise known as PIP. Every driver in Florida is required to carry at least $10,000 in PIP coverage. But here's the catch. PIP doesn't cover everything. It only pays up to 80% of your medical bills and 60% of your lost wages, and it maxes out quickly, especially if your injuries are serious. So what happens when the other driver has no insurance at all? Unfortunately, this is more common than you might think. Florida has one of the highest rates of uninsured drivers in the country. Around 1 in every 5 drivers are uninsured. That means if you're hit by one of these drivers, you can't rely on their insurance to pay for your medical bills, lost wages, or damages. Instead, you'll need to look at other options. Here's where things get really important. Uninsured motorist coverage, often called coverage. This is optional coverage that you can add to your own policy, and it steps in when the at-fault driver doesn't have insurance or doesn't have enough insurance. Think of coverage as your financial safety net. It can cover your medical bills, lost income, pain and suffering, and future care when the other driver can't pay a dime. I can't stress this enough. If you don't already have coverage on your policy, call your insurance agent today and ask about it. It's one of the smartest moves you can make to protect yourself and your family in Florida. Now, some of you may be wondering, can't I just sue the uninsured driver? Technically, yes, you can file a lawsuit, but here's the hard truth. If someone doesn't have insurance, it usually means they don't have much money or assets to collect from. Even if you win a judgment in court, actually getting paid is often nearly impossible. That's why relying on your own coverage is usually the most practical solution. Let me give you a quick example. Let's say you're in a crash and the at-fault driver has no insurance. Your medical bills add up to $50,000 and you've missed weeks of work. PIP might cover up to $10,000. That leaves you with $40,000 in uncovered losses. But if you had $100,000 in coverage on your own policy, you'd be able to tap into that coverage and recover the money you need to actually get back on your feet. Without you'd be left holding the bag. So here's the bottom line. If the other driver doesn't have insurance in Florida, you still have options, but the best protection starts with you and your own policy. Make sure you've got strong uninsured motorist coverage, and if you're in a crash, talk to a lawyer who knows how to make the insurance companies play fair. Now that you know how you can protect yourself against uninsured drivers, be sure to check out this next video to learn 5 simple steps that you can take to increase your personal injury settlement. See you there.